What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back at it. People ain't gonna believe it, Coach. Episode 40 of the Patrick Gayle Show here on the Bossman Radio Show platform. And Coach, I'm just elated to say we made it to this big number of 40. 5 was big for us, 10 was big for us, 20 and 30. Now we're at 40. People think we're making this far, Coach, but we have, Coach.
Wow, I can't. To God be the glory. I can't believe 40 episodes, man.
Yes, 40 episodes, kind of like, you know how, Coach, I'm going to tap into Dr. Carr. It's we're convening, Coach, of you and I. I'm convening the Mbongi, Coach. We're convening of JR and Coach Gayle to drop knowledge on people. Dr. Carr's for you. We're convening is what he always like. Dr. Carr, with the convening, that's what we are have, Coach. With the convening, Coach.
We are absolutely doing that. Absolutely, boss man. How are you doing, sir? I love the TSU colors, man. You're representing heavy today.
Yes, I've been over at my old school today. Enjoyed some things, and we brought back some things, Coach. had a great time today.
So with football camp, about to start all over college football. How does it bring back any memories this morning?
No, I was good. It was like hey, Coach, I was focused on the task at hand.
which was making them players feel welcomed and reminiscing about the old days.
Oh, yes. Hey, Coach, one thing about it was me, man, like, I got that out of my system a long time ago, so it don't bother me. But there's a flag football game, a certain joke on the sidelines, 100% I'm going to be motivated. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm glad you brought that up. What does it mean for an alum like you to go back every year? Because I'm big on that. I'm big on alums going back. I was just talking to Coach White, and some of that administrative staff about just alums that have a presence with their school and, paying it forward to the present guys. What does that mean for you to go back and what you do?
Coach, it's a mixed bag, Coach, because I hate to say this, Coach. I don't want to be negative about it, but sometimes they don't want alumni around because of we know certain things. For me, it's about seeing people I know, connecting with guys who are walking my same path, whether it be majoring in business, minoring in entrepreneurship, minoring in psychology, just giving guys the lowdown about what experience of TSU was for me. Whether you go to the downtown campus or you go to the main campus, having to crisscross from downtown to the main, or appeal a parking ticket because dude got overzealous. The dining hall routine, how you can slide more food out than you should, and those things are fun to me because even though some things have changed, it seems to stay the same. And teach them about who to talk to get certain things done, who you can't trust around the university, who's not going to do nothing for you, what professor to take. So for me, it's like, hey, look, just give you the roadmap that was given to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun because we do have something in common. We're going to be a TSU Tiger video for a year or two. We had it in common. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's fun. Seeing guys I'm cool with, people I'm cool with. It's crazy that the same lawn care people still there that I was there.
Wow.
Like, Arthur and Tack still there. Like, y'all still here? They're doing lawn care when I was there.
So let's say that you're interviewing your freshman 18, 19-year-old self. What's the one thing that you would say to your 18, 19-year-old self right now?
Don't choose that girl you chose. Don't be the nice guy that you are.
But you still are. Boss man, you still are. That
caused me some trouble into my mid-20s. I'll put it like that. Just being coach, like legit. McCord Hall. I see this little short girl crying on the floor. Didn't know why she was crying. But I knew how to take care of the problem. Then it started.
That's where the legend started, huh?
It persisted until some years into my 20s. And I can't get back. So that's what I'll tell maybe just keep on walking. If I could go back in time.
But you know what? Again, I believe that God lays a path for us. So if that does not happen, maybe you're not doing what you're doing right now, Mr. Bossman.
They had a bearing on that one. That one. But the problem is, Coach, I realized that I'm still doing the same things. There's a piece of me that has a soft spot for people, and sometimes it goes badly for me because I have a soft spot for those in need. And that's what I would say. Maybe keep on walking and let her keep crying.
But then you just go to the next person and the next person. So eventually it will still happen. So maybe that's
your coach. It was some great times. It was, but in the end, it was some bad times. And as to why
I don't think you can avoid that. I don't think you can avoid that, boss man. I think remember, it's a campus full. So I don't think you're going to avoid that. That just happened to be your destiny, your path. And I think you had to go through that school of hard knocks to learn, and you graduated well.
Because, hey, look, I was going to get my student ID made. Coach, I had on a old school, which is knowing how I am today and knowing what I know today. Woo, Lord. Coach, I had on a USA basketball jersey, the navy fluid of a certain player. I won't say the name, but knowing how I am today, Coach. What was I doing with that jersey on my body? I'm talking back then. But I'm going to get my student ID made, and I saw the young lady who I represented on the floor, and we started a long-term situation that ended into my 20s. So, but late 20s, by the way. Late 20s, not early, late. Like 28 years old late, you know what I'm saying? But that's where I often ask myself, had I not stopped and took care of her that day, what could have happened vice versa? You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. That is why did I do that? A lot. Just being transparent.
So no regret in education, no regret in career pursuit or in job pursuit or anything else. your regret was meeting that one that caused a lot of, I guess for you, heartache and pain well into your 20s.
Yes, sir. It was like you couldn't let it go. Like something about it, I know why I couldn't let it go, but it's like you got caught up. You know what I'm saying, Coach? So for me, it's learning not to get caught up in certain things. And I got caught up, and I've made it a mission into my 30s into 40s to not do it again. But I do have a soft spot for those in need, which can get me in trouble.
Well, you know what's funny? It's funny you said that because on a serious note, what you're describing, that young lady you're describing, it could be situations, it could be family members, it could be trying to pursue a career or a major that you need to leave alone that's going to lock you down for years. So, what advice now, as you are who you are, would you give to someone that's watching? You have a lot of people that's about to start college in the next few weeks. What advice would you give learning that situation? What advice would you give to the 18 and 19-year-olds out there about to start school?
One of school, like I did. Enjoy your college, because I was locked down. I didn't get to really enjoy myself. I was locked down with a person. I'm not trying to disparage you, lady, who was insecure about things and very clingy and would not, due to her situation, was very non-trusting of people, right? So I caught the brunt of that. You know what I'm saying? And then, she said something about career. Into my 20s, pursuing career in media was a problem because I was not around or they didn't trust me being out of town. So that's why I'm saying I learned that early. And ultimately, me choosing my career over them led to the final parting of ways. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say that whole situation was like a lifetime of learning right there. I can tell you, like, look, man, don't do that. Enjoy yourself. I don't want to tell you just do it safely, but enjoy yourself. While you're there, and don't get caught. I didn't get to really experience things. I had to let things go because I don't want to have to argue or deal with somebody's insecurities.
Right.
That's real life too, not just in college.
Yeah.
So I got that lesson in my 20s of this.
Right.
So as a dude in near 40 now, like, I ain't trying to take on that kind of situation with insecurities. And, I got to always explain myself or you don't accept my career. So I would say that scenario, why I hate it happened, it grew me to now to a degree. So I know what I don't want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And just know who you can trust on campus. Enjoy yourself. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you to join no certain fraternity or sorority. That's my belief in. So I'm me, five me all day long. So I don't believe in that. But just be involved, enjoy, do what you can, experience what you can, find the right professors who going to grow you, like a Dr. Carr would, or somebody's going to look out for you. You're not just a ID number to them, so, but yeah, it was
great advice. That's great advice. That's great advice.
And at homecoming, when you get my age, a lot of eyes looking at you because of certain things. You have to navigate certain waters, and Lord knows, almost 20 years later, I'm still having to navigate waters at homecoming.
I guess that's a part of what you're saying. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, I see certain people say.
Because I wanted you to elaborate on what you mean by enjoy yourself. What does that mean to an 18-year-old?
I'm keeping this PG. I'm keeping this show PG.
Well, Bossman, I think I'm a little bit different. Again, what you would say kept you caught up, that young lady. What kept me caught up was the major that I was in.
Oh.
I was committed to a major I should have never been in. And coming from Caribbean parents, They believe in the sciences. They believe in, you getting a degree and, you pursuing either law school, medical school, engineering. Those are the top three. And there are a lot of, students that will like me, now that I can talk, to some of my classmates, almost 30 years later. And so my advice would be kind of piggying back off of what you said. Don't be connected to anyone or anything that you can't see happiness 40 years later. You cannot look at college, even the fun that Bossman is referring to, if it's going to affect you 40 years later, if getting in a car, if going to a party, if talking to somebody is going to affect you 40 years later, and you have some intelligence, you know what I'm talking about, stay away from it. And the biggest thing I want to say is that, how can I say this? The best advice, the best route to take is going to be the quietest and the most silent. So that professor that sees you as a person, that professor that cares about you, is not going to yell at you, is not going to, demand anything. That professor is going to be soft and well-spoken like a Dr. Carr, and is going to give you advice. But he's not going to yell. He's not going to raise his voice. He's going to be very soft-spoken, and it's kind of like how God speaks to you, going to be very quiet. You're going to have to block out the noise, because on the flip side, the devil going to be loud. The devil go get you hyped all the time. The devil go say things at a high-pitched voice. You got to learn to block that out, and you got to learn to listen to the quiet voice. And the person that you should be with is not going to demand that you be with her or be with you. You pick me. That person's going to be focused. That person's going to say, if you can't see my worth, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I know why I'm here. You need to know why you're here. So you're going to find that person studying in the library. You're going to find that person focused on going to class. You're going to find that person that's going to whisper or say the things that you need to hear at the time. But if you listen to that loud voice is saying, come on, do this, come over here on this side, and you can't decipher or discern that quiet voice, 40 years later, you're going to have some regrets. And I'll just leave it at that.
Coach, and I will say this, Coach, I'll tell you, Coach, like, it's weird because in my master's degree, I met somebody else. We know where we there, Coach. I'll tell you that right there. I told myself, Coach, I said, why is it that the two females I picked undergraduate and grad give me so much heartache and pain?
Bossman, you gonna make some people mad. I hope you don't still talk to them.
They know who they are, and they both watch my show.
Oh, they know who they are, and they're watching.
So, as I always say, Coach, am I lying about it? No. And it's nothing I haven't said before to them in their face. Which, Coach, I don't know, but Coach, it's funny. I'm being real. This is me being real. If you say you hate me, why do you watch my show? That's all I'm saying.
Because you have to understand what the definition of hate is. I want everybody to look. That's why I say I don't use that word, because it's a misplaced word. Use that. Look up that word and understand what that means.
Because these two people say they hate me, but they watch my show.
Well,
but at home, they want to come and hug me. I don't get that. That's crazy to me, Coach.
Well, boss man, all I can say is,
if I hate somebody, I ain't gonna be hugging.
Hey, boss man, all I can say is return it with love. Return it with love.
No, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you can hug me. Why you hugging me though? I was like, don't you hated me? I do hate you, but I want to hug you. Weird.
Return it, or just understand. Return it with love. You can take it.
So during Howard's homecoming at TSU, I will hug them back, Coach, and press up and say, "My friend, Coach Gayle, told me to do this. My brother said to hug you back with love."
I'm gonna pray for you. That's all you gotta say. That's the best.
But
That's the best way, because you're gonna find people that's gonna hate you for whatever reason. They could be deep seated, or it could be for something on the surface. It doesn't matter. You don't return hate with hate.
I will, Coach. We had some good times. We did, but it ended up bad. But we had a great time. I ain't gonna sit and deny that. But looking back at it, 40-foot view of it, yeah, I could have made better decisions. Maybe it wouldn't have happened what happened. So, but it's all good, Coach. The decisions are everything. That's something that I'm, really big on. As you know, I talk about it, Coach, making the right call on stuff. That's what I
Let
try to
me
do.
let me ask you this, Jr. Because I just I'm thinking back to my college days, and the one big thing, especially with my players now, that's a big thing is not communicating with their parents every day or routinely, consistently. Were you someone that communicated with your dad and with your mom consistently when you were in college?
Well, I'm not. I don't take this out. I'm sound bad. Me and my dad were closer to me and my mom are. It's plain and simple. So I talk to my dad every day, but not my mom. So my mom, every 3 or 4 days or something, but my dad every day. Because we're close like that. So yeah, like my dad didn't really know about my issue I had with the young ladies I was dealing with. I don't want to put it on his plate. You know what I'm saying? That's me. You know what I mean? So, but it's mainly about focus, Africana study stuff, about stuff going on with the community, making sure that I'm engaged in Black Nashville per se, keep what's going on. So my dad's about the community aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad knew my talents. My dad didn't get involved in talent stuff. He didn't get involved in that. But it's more about the community, the people. Who am I connecting with? Who are we impacting? Who can we give knowledge to? And help spread the word that way. So, but my mom was more about, education and stuff like that. Man, I didn't really care about education at the time. It's just being real. You know what I mean? Some me the latest Atlanta gossip I didn't really want to care about at the time either. Like, Mom, I'm a dude. I don't want to hear this. You know what I mean? I'm not there, and I don't care. But they were never really focused on like what I was there for. You know what I mean? But I did talk about that every day. That's what I did talk to every day about. Whatever. What he want to talk to me about.
So
And
what advice would you give to young people that don't talk to their parents all the time? Because like you said, they're too focused on having so much fun.
you wish you could talk to him one day. That's all I say to him. There'll be a day you wish you could talk to him. Or you can't talk to him, you wish you could. So I would say maximize that, differences aside, whatever the day may be, if you can. Like, some things you can't come back from with your parents. I get that too. But if it's nothing crazy where you can't work through it, try, because there'll come a day where you can't talk to them. If you catch what I'm saying. Like that awful day came for a friend of mine. Her dad suddenly passed away. She didn't see it coming. So
Wow.
that's why I'm saying, like, she didn't see her dad passing away. It was totally unexpected. You know what I mean? She's tore up by it, and she should be, especially when you don't see it coming. You see it coming, it still sucks, but if you don't know it's coming, it's worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say to parents, like, take advantage of every opportunity. As the older I get, as we talked about on the show, two of my teammates have passed away recently. It makes you realize how precious life is and how short life is. So, I'm at the age now where people are starting to fall off now. It makes you reevaluate yourself, So I would
Well,
say make that every opportunity,
that's great advice. That's great advice. Well, what advice would you give to parents when they're, worried about their children and worried about, them being away from home? And I think parents know their children very well. I think a lot of them are in denial in public, but they know when they're in private, their children and what their children are capable of doing, and, the decisions that, they'll make. What advice would you give to parents?
That's hard, Coach. I'm not a parent. It's kind of hard for me to answer that question. So I don't have that. I don't have that that currency to be able to talk about it because I'm not really a parent. So I really don't know that one. I ain't been on that side of the equation yet, per se. I do a lot of.
That's a great response. You see, that's why I appreciate you, because you're not gonna ever just be phony. I appreciate that.
I do a lot of step-in parenting, but that ain't like parenting like having your own.
And you've done a lot of mentoring. So as a mentor, as a coach, as someone that has helped a lot of young people and seen some people grow under your tutelage, what advice would you give to parents?
I would say maybe I'm biased because I just done like allowed them to find their own way.
Great advice.
You can't live their life on. You can't run their race. And that's something that's understood. Like, you can't run that race. You know, Coach, you notice I'm big on this, staying in my lane. And so I'm saying let your kids learn. Like,
I have to interject because this is where I can hear a mom or a dad say, well, you wouldn't understand. You're not a parent. And I heard that a lot before I became a parent. And I'm glad that you preface everything with saying, I can't answer that. I'm not a parent. So let me, as a parent now, address what you just said. The best advice I can give to parents, because you have a lot of parents that are going to go through it, is you better get in your Bible. You better get in your spirituality. James 2:18, and you better understand the meaning of faith. When you are in your home safe and you cannot sleep because you have that intuition, something's going on with my son or my daughter, they won't talk to me. Like you said, JR, you didn't tell your dad what was really, you picked the incident, the person that to this day affects you. And imagine what you said. You didn't even tell your dad about it because you didn't want your dad to worry. So parents need to understand they're not going to talk to you about what is hurting them the most. You better have a relationship with God, more so than your children, because you better learn how to pray for your children. That's where the grandparents come in. That's where the ancestors come in, because they're going to make terrible decisions. They're going to do some stupid things. They're going to not ignore the easiest traps. They're going to not listen to God whispering to them the whole day, the whole campus. You better learn how to have a strong relationship with the Lord, because it's going to be a stranger. It's going to be somebody that you would least expect that's going to help your son or daughter the most. It's not going to be who you think it is. It's going to be a stranger. It's going to be somebody that they can confide in, and you're praying that they're getting the right advice, because they're going to get influenced by somebody. You better pray it's going to be the right person, because they're not going to hear your voice. Now, what you said, as they get older, they're going to realize the regret, and they're going to, have that great relationship with you. But a lot of times it's going to be either short-lived because it's going to be too late, or it's just going to be too late at all. And all of this is being said by a parent who was a young man that regrets not what you just said, JR, talking to my parents more about what I was going through. Because just like you, I did not want to burden them.
I don't tell my parents my problems. They don't know my issues. I just don't go there with them. I handle it on my own, or with those who I trust me in a circle. I just don't want to I don't need to put that on them and get asked about every time I'm around,
And that's what parents need to hear. Parents need to hear that you're
even in my big age, I'm the same way.
No. Wait a second, though. When you need some money, you're going to call them. So they're going to come with financial issues.
I ain't had that problem, Coach.
Well, my players are gonna call their parents for financial issues. Yeah. They gonna call their parents when they hungry or when they broke. but
Yeah,
they're
I
not
didn't
gonna
have that
call
problem,
them.
thankfully, Coach. But mercifully,
Yeah, but they not gonna call them with like you said with the deep seated problems that keep them up at night, and the problems that will affect them well into their 30s, like you said.
yeah, exactly. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Coach. My goodness. So yeah, Coach. Well, this is episode 40, the college edition of the Patrick Gayle Show. Folks, donate. PayPal, Bossman Show, website, bossmanshow.com. Hit Patrick Gayle Show, hit donate, top. It's right there for you. Can't miss it. Cash App, Bossman Show. Zelle coming soon. Venmo coming soon. We're trying to get approved for business sales and Venmo. So going through hoops. I'm not doing no Stripe. I'm not paying them a fee. I ain't doing Stripe. Not paying them a fee. No, sir. Again, I'm not going to pay you to get money that's given to me. I'm not doing that.
Smart businessman.
So they ain't doing that, sir. So yeah. So I know we got something here. We got something brewing here, Coach, and I. Thank you for the views going up. Show posted the other day. Views still going up. We're gonna get some another show, so it's gonna be good. I'm heading to Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Open. So we'll have a show still. Now every other stuff also I ain't doing all that other stuff right now. But to Cincinnati Open tennis, I'll be there for a week. Hopefully the U.S. Open will approve me. U.S. Open, you better approve me. That's all I'm going to say.
Already done, JR. It's already done. Already done.
So
Have faith.
I can go up there and enjoy the U.S. Open up there in New York, in Queens. They call it Flushing now, or I said I'm going to go with Queens.
Flushing Queens.
You know,
Come on,
right
now.
there by the Mets.
That's where the Mets play,
City
JR.
Field
Come
and
on.
the World Fair ball right there as you walk into the U.S. Open. So yeah, Coach, there's big things coming, Coach. And Coach, I ordered myself, before we wrap up, a Brooklyn Nets hat with the B on it, because I'm a baller, Coach. I'm blessed. I'm a baller. That's what I'm stand for. Blessed baller.
Well, before we go, I'd just like to thank, all the supporters, everyone that has given their energy. We appreciate it. And nothing is scripted. Everything is from the Lord that puts us on our hearts to just speak. And this is for you guys. And like you said, JR, for the people that hate, we return that hate with love. So we are praying for you and we thank you.
There's no doubt. We're even out there. For JR and Coach Gayle, we'll see you next week, episode 41 on the Patrick Gayle Show.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews. You name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, the Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.